Hey lovely people, I'm Hydra and this is the Jumpbot. So this is a little new for our channel because this is a little tool we put together for Magic the Gathering players who enjoy the format Jumpstart. This is a tool that my family uses when we draft Jumpstart packs and to manage our collection of Jumpstart stuff. We made this tool available to the general public because why not? People seem to be interested in it on Reddit, and we figured, why, share what we have, and hopefully others will enjoy what we put together and what we are slowly updating over time. So I'm going to show you how I use the tool and how to build Jumpstart packs, draft games, and actually how to track the packs if they're picked or drafted, and what ones are performing above board and what ones probably need a little rotation or to be sat out for a few times. The Jumpbot runs entirely on your browser, so there's no accounts, no servers, no nothing that is transferred to us or that we collect. It's going to be completely on your side of your browser. Unfortunately, that does bring a little limitations on opening it up in multiple places, but there's workarounds for that, and we'll show some stuff. Who knows, in the future, we might expand it to use server-side stuff, but that costs money, and we're trying to do this and keep this as free as possible. So we're going to start at the very tippity top. We have our name of the bot. This little marker badge will tell you what version we are on. This is actually the version that we're currently working on. It should be live pretty soon, so there might be some stuff moved around and some new stuff that we haven't released yet. This is version 0.7.1, and this will be coming out soon. We'll do more videos to highlight anything big and new if we do really big stuff, but just keep in mind, this is just going to show you the basics. The next little tab here, or chip here, is actually showing you how many packs you have in your collection. Right now in our demo, we're going to be running with 16 packs and all that kind of stuff. These next ones, storage and script, you could ignore it if there's anything weird going on. If nothing's working, this will tell you if things are going wrong with the scripting that's running in the background or the storage. This is more for our testing and our side of it as we develop, and will probably disappear when we get to version 1 or 1.5. I don't think it's something you guys would care about. Over on the far right side, we have the 3 panels right now. Currently, it's collection, play, and stats. We are planning on adding some more stuff there later, but for now, these 3 panels are where you're going to be spending most of your time. So moving down to our collection area, this is where the page defaults when you open, and this is mostly the backbone of the entire Jumpbot, as this is where we're going to be creating packs. We're going to be tagging them, adding deck lists, all kinds of stuff. And this will feed into how the play system works and everything else. You could go as bare bones as you want, or you could add as much detail as we've allowed you to. So looking down here, this is just going to show you the complete collection that you have. So right now we have those 16 packs, and it gives you a good idea of each pack. So it'll give you the name of the pack, the theme of your pack, the mana color of your pack, if the pack is a mono color or a multicolor pack. It'll tell you what set that's from or what collection, sub-collection you have. In my family, we have small little, what we call environments. We have our official Jumpstart environments, and then we have our custom stuff that we've broken down to about 10 packs each environment. And that's kind of why we built this tool, is so we could mix and match our environments. So right now in our demo, we have a few foundations, and we have the historic horizon stuff right there. This information right here is telling you how many times a pack has been offered and how many times a pack has been picked, and gives you a rough percentage of how well that pack is performing. And then our final line here is giving you tag. You could tag a pack however you want. For our packs, for typal style things like this goblin one here, we'll usually give it a theme of typal, and then we'll tag it goblins to let us know what kind of pack that is. Over on to the right, we have view deck, edit, and delete. Be careful with your deletes because I don't think they warn you right now. I think we might have to add a little warning. But if we click view deck, this gives us a rundown of what is in that pack. So all the cards, right now we have it broken down as creatures, lands, and non-creatures. We are planning on giving that a more detailed breakdown. So soon it'll be creatures, instant, sorcery, land, artifacts, and so on. We are using the Scryfall API, so this gives us a cool little thing. We could actually hover over the cards. It gives us a cool little preview of each card, so we know what is in our biz. Probably make adjustments on it, but it's a cool little feature we've added, and I'm pretty happy with it. Next to that, we have edit. If we click on it, we could edit all kinds of stuff. We could change what kind of color identity the pack has. We could change it from black, black, white, and so on and so on. We could change its name up here. We could call it Big Nefarious. We could change the theme, and we could change what set. We could also add new tags by just hitting them in here. Tag, hit enter, and we've added new tags. And we could also add and edit cards. So we could add cards. It's very straightforward. And this is also using the Scryfall API. So if we want to add a new card to this, we could just add it one by one, and we could add bulk, which we'll take a look at later. But if we're going to add a one by one, we could add more swamps. And it'll give you a little autocomplete, which we could pick swamps. We could tell it how many we want, and we could add. And then it just adds it right down there for us. And if we want to get rid of that, we could just remove it. This also gives us the ability, if we have custom cards, so we could call a custom card. We could give it its quantity. We could give it its mana cost. Oops. 4 black. And then we could tell you, say what it is. And then we could add that card. It will add it to here. And it'll give us our mana cost, what type of card it is, and its name. Of course, there's no image, so we can't really do anything about that because it's custom. Another thing we could do in our pack area is edit our cards. So if we say we add a new land, let's say we want 2 Thriving Moors, and we want to remove a swamp, so we could come in here and do a little inline adjustment. So we're going to drop that down to 6. We're going to increase our Thriving Moor to 2, and that is how we do our little inline adjustments, and we can do it all throughout. Of course, if we name change, I believe this will break them. Yeah, there's no image. It can't search it up, but that's totally fine. If you're wanting to customize or things like that, and you don't care about the preview image, that's totally up to you. But you could have that flexibility and customizing. And if we fix it, we get our Howling Banshee back. So pretty straightforward, easy to do. It's nothing like deep and complex. It's pretty easy to put together. And then of course save, and we have our Big Nefarious pack, and it's ready to go. Now when it comes to the collection itself, for my family, it was all about filtering and being able to filter out the things that we want. And we have a lot of little filtering here that we could do. It's pretty all straightforward. Right now we're sorting by color type. We could change it to name, ascend, descend, pretty typical stuff. Set boxes, we could conjoin together and hunt them down and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty straightforward if you're familiar with any kind of Magic the Gathering filtering. This one does it too. We could increase our page size. We're going to go to 20. So all our packs are shown here. We could even drop this down to 5. It is going to increment by 5. We could jump the pages, which doesn't help when it's only one page. If you have a lot of pages, we could jump to 1 pages, or we could go forward or next. Another cool feature is being able to filter by set boxes. So right now we have those 2 foundations. We have a Jumpstart Historic Horizon. We got 13 of those. And then we have an unlabeled pack that we don't know what set it's from. I believe it's a historic horizon. We could click that one. It will filter it out. We could also add our foundation ones, and we could have these multiple filters. And that is one fun thing that we really strive to put into it, is that we can stack our filters and really drill down as much as we can. So let's find our junkyard. That is definitely historic horizons because it has a Sauron. So let's edit this one and give it the Jumpstart historic horizon. And that'll drop it out. It gets rid of the unlabeled, and we're back to just our historic horizons and our foundations. Other filter fun things, we could filter by color. This is filter by color, but any white mana. So this also hits our two dual colors. And we could adjust that to just be exact and just get all our white mana stuff, or all our blue mana, or all our white and blue. Again, if you've used any Magic the Gathering app that does cards like Scryfall and EDH Rec, it's going to be similar to those kind of things when it comes to filtering stuff out. So this next panel is our advanced filters. Really just gives you more access to stuff. This breaks it down, so it's filtering into themes. We can find our +1/+1 counter packs. We could find our -1/-1 counter packs, and we can find both of those. Just another way to be able to find the kind of packs that you're looking for from your collection. Some people have small collections like this one, probably don't need all these filters, but then again, if you're running multiple environments, these filters really do come in handy. The next one is for tags. This is how we can filter by our tags. For example, we have these historic horizon ones that use arena only cards. Sometimes we play Jumpstart on arena strictly, where we draft our arena only and we will build the decks later on. So we do have these. We can use those tags to find our arena only ones, so we can edit them, find out what ones we have, and so on and so forth. Here is our search tip thing, which we're going to look at right now. It gives us little tips. This is something that we're still kind of working on, but this makes it so we can drill even more into it. So if we want to find all our packs with goblins, we could type. So we have our type, colon, and goblins. And this is going to show us all the packs that have a goblin creature in it, which is pretty fun. For example, our plague. We could go in here. Where's our goblin? There it is. It's the shambling goblin. We also have our goblin. It finds our goblins in junkyard and goblins in goblins. So again, pretty cool. If you're familiar with the different filtering from other websites, we have it here. And of course, we're going to be expanding more on that stuff. Keep an eye on it, and always let us know what kind of filtering abilities you would like to see in the future, and we'll try to add it. Let's move to the top of our collection area and look at the last two sections of this page that are equally important. So this top one here is for our storage. This is going to tell us how much storage we're using from our browser. Your browser typically will allot each website about 5 megabytes. Each pack is very lightweight, doesn't use a lot. My family's main collection has a good amount of packs, and we're still around 5% of the storage. We're still using a very insignificant amount of storage. So you could have quite a bit of packs if you have a large collection and not have to worry. One thing you do need to do, and I fully recommend, is use your backup. Constantly back up as much as you can. Store it in a folder. This will give you a backup that is given a date and time for when the backup was made. So you could keep them all in a nice little folder. And if we want to restore it, we just go down to restore and we can restore it. So let's see what that looks like. Let's wipe our collection. And then, oh no, all our stuff is gone. We're going to restore. And I select the file from my file selector. And we've restored our collection. And there it is again. So remember, once you've added a bunch of packs, go back up, put it in a folder. Again, they're very small files. So I just kind of keep them in a folder by themselves on my desktop. And it gives me a nice little safety net, just in case if I need to dump all the cookies and storage of my browser, I don't lose any of my work and my collection. For advanced users, you could back up to a shared network, and this is kind of what we do. We send our backups to a shared network, and then we use the restore to bring the packs and the updated packs to our other systems. So then my spouse and my kids and my friends all have updated pack listings, and we're able to draft together using the most current stuff. It is a little convoluted, but as of right now, that's working for us, and it's very low effort and doesn't cost money on our end. So that is what we got right now. All right, let's take a look at the last thing that you do in your collection area, and that is manage and add packs. This is where we're going to be adding our packs to our collection. So we could give our pack a name here. And really the two important things that you need to do here is add a name and give it a color identity. As long as you have those two things, we're able to get that pack into the collection. From there, we could then go and edit farther. And that's all we need to do is name and ID. But we can just get straight to it and do everything here. We could give it a name. We could give it a theme. So life gain, we could give it a set. Let's call it down fun packs. And then we could give it a color. As of right now, we limit it to 3 colors. We will be lifting that soon so you could have rainbow packs. But for us, we never really use rainbow packs. And when we do, we use the colorless and just put rainbow as a tag. So something like that, we put rainbow. And that'd be our tag to tell us that this is a special pack. But it is something we're going to be doing later on, is to either give a rainbow marker or open this up to go past the limitation of 3 packs. So with all that added, we can then add our cards. So if we want, again, we could add whatever card we want. If it's a official card, it will come up with our little stuff here. We could put in the name, add card. If it's official, it'll pull from Scryfall and give it its name, casting cost, creature type. If you want to do a custom, you could just do custom cards all you want. Yay, custom. And it'll still work for you, but you do lose out on the Scryfall stuff. And it'll work just fine, and it will just be treated as a custom card. And if you do things like creature and dash imp and things like that, it will be able to be sorted out by creature types and things like that. So then we could add our pack, and bingo bango, we're done. Let's say you open a brand new pack from Foundations and you pull one of my favorite packs, and that's Snakes. We could go to somewhere like MTG Wiki and get the information. So Snakes is typo. It's from Foundations. Oops. It's from Foundations. It's Snakes. Snakes. Its color identity is black. So we get our pack list from a place like Cube Cobra or MTG Wiki, and we can come in here, paste the entirety of the pack, or you can just list it out yourself if you just feel more comfortable that way. Get rid of those little extras. Things like cards, if you just leave it blank, it'll treat it as 1 card. You could change these to 2, it'll tell it 2. You could even say Killing Glare. We have 2 of those by doing 2x, and it will understand those. It's a pretty robust bulk import, and Scryfall is pretty good at catching the names and the numbers and stuff like that. So let's add it. And after a little bit of a load, it looks them all up and drops them in here. And we could go through our list. We see that these lands are just the little title things. So we can remove that. We could see that our cards are in here. The ones that we had added extras like Killing Glare and Scourge are set to 2, and our swamps, and then we could add the pack, and easy peasy, there they are. And we can just find snakes. There's our snakes, and our view our deck. and everything is the way it should. So that is the collection panel. It's pretty straightforward, and this is where a lot of the heavy lifting is happening and where you're creating the backbone of the system. The next panel is the play panel. This is where you're going to be drafting your packs and all that fun stuff. Right now, we're still working on making this a little more robust and easier to read. As of right now, it does what it's supposed to do, and we think it'll be able to speed up all your plays. With the collection all set up, we could just draft the entire collection. We go down to just the roll first options. Once we do that, it will give us 3 packs from our collections, and we could choose one of those. I really love snakes, so that's going to be our first choice. Then we go down to a roll second option, and then the system will keep in mind that you drafted snakes, so it will keep snakes out of your draft cycle. And in later times when if we draft a 2-color or so, it will always try to make sure your packs are compatible with each other or make a really good drafting experience. So if you're familiar with Arena Jump In, very similar system when it comes to drafting here. So I see snakes and squirrels. I think that's a really good pack. If I wasn't sure what was in a pack, I could just click view deck. It'll tell me what is inside that pack, and then I can make my decisions there. So we have snakes and squirrels. We can view our combined deck now, and this will give us what that deck should look like. And we're able to go to our collection, grab our snake and squirrels, shuffle them up, and get a play in. So as of right now, that is pretty straightforward, but in the play area, we do have a few little things to make this a little funner. This is kind of why we built it in my family, is because we do have these multiple collections and we like to draft really weird combinations. So with that in mind, we're able to do some fun things. When it comes to filtering our drafts, right now we only have our 2 filters right here. We're going to expand it a little bit later to give it some more robustness. But right now, this is pretty much the basics of it. We're able to decide what set or boxes or environments we want to use. We're actually able to pick what color combinations we would like to draft with. So we just click turn on what kind of things we want on. We could leave our fun pack because we don't want that. And we could add our foundations. So we just want to draft these 2 sets. If we look down here, it gives us 17 packs to work with outside of our 19. And we could even go further. Let's say we really don't want any green in our draft, so we could just turn on all the colors except green. I don't think there's any rainbow in this one. So we could turn on all the colors except green, and that'll give us 15 packs to work with. We could go down to our next section. This will tell us what our pool looks like. We have 11 mono packs. We have 4 dual color packs and no tricolor packs. That feels like it's going to be a really good draft, so let's continue on. Now, this next one is our role settings. This is going to give you a little more customizability and give you that Magic Arena jump in feel and kind of break that system. So we could adjust this so we're rolling 4 per roll, and we could adjust our chances of getting a 3-color option, and we could turn that 3-color option off. This will make it so the system will attempt to always make sure that we're drafting 2-color decks, or we could increase that to 100% so we're always going to be offered a chance to draft a 3-color deck. And you could kind of make that adjustment and probabilities that you want, and that gives you a little more freedom on how you want to do it and not just a basic standard. So we're going to leave it at 10% because I really don't care if we're going to draft a 3-color. And let's see what this looks like. Actually, let's increase this to 5. I want to look at 5 packs. So this is good. We got cycling. That's one of my favorites. What's in that cycling pack looks pretty spicy. Let's pick our cycling. And as you notice, there's no green because we turned it off. We're going to go to our second roll settings. We could kind of do some stuff here that's really interesting. If we want, by default, the second roll is not excluding anything that's been shown here, only the one that was picked. But we can turn this on to exclude our goblin, snakes, plague, and humans from our second roll. We could also relax the constraints. This is really helpful to make sure you don't get stuck. And if you don't want it on, then you could always turn it off. This is kind of like a guardrail. Make sure that you're always going to be able to draft packs and that you're just not stuck with broken decks. So let's roll our second option. And this is where that relax constraint comes in handy. It's making sure that we have valid picks here and not just empty slots. Because we are working with a very limited amount of packs, it's going to show us as much as we can. Ooh, flickering's really fun. Anyways, it's going to show us packs that we definitely can do, much like they do for Arena. And it also will give us some options that are going to allow us into a 3-color, but could be workable. And that's where this 3-color option, we were given a 10% chance. This one is pretty high. And because we're drafting 5 decks at a time, it gives us the options here and here. If we were a little more constrained, it would have attempted to keep it probably within the Silver Assault, the Giddy Up, and the Flickering. But because we were a little more laxed and we were being a little more restrictive on what it could offer us, it's going to give us what it can. So we're going to pick the Giddy Up. I kind of want a mono white deck here. And there we go. We have this stuff here. So let's say you want to play on Arena, or you want to play that deck you played about 3 games ago. We could go into our draft history. This will show us the last 10 decks, and we picked 10 for memory's sake, and we might increase it over time, but this will give us the last 10 decks that we drafted and the one that we currently did. Gives us the time frame that we drafted it at and what kind of combination it was, cycling and Giddy Up, snakes and squirrels, squirrels and bears, and so on and so on. And it will also let us see how many cards were merged. We could view the deck at the time. Looks so cool. And then we also are given the option to copy to Magic Arena and or copy to Magic Online. If we click copy to Magic Arena, copies it to our clipboard, and we could import it into Magic Arena, and we could make a connection with one of our friends, and we could start drafting with the draft bot and start playing on Arena. This is another way we play in my house to allow a little more flexibility when we're not in the same house or we just don't want to shuffle cards. So this is a really cool feature, and one of my favorite parts is being able to bring this into Arena and Magic Online, even though I never really play Magic Online. We can clear that history. Don't do it if you don't want it gone. And yeah, that's that. All right, let's say you have some friends over and you want to play Magic, you want to play some Jumpstart, but you want to cut out the drafting part. You just want to give some decks for everyone to play and just get right into it. You can come down to the quick play mode, and this allows the system to draft the decks for you right out of the bat. And we could tell it how many players. In this case, we're going to say that I have 5 friends coming over. We all want to play Magic, but we don't want to draft decks. We could put this number all the way up to 6. We're probably going to lift the cap on that later. And then we just deal our pairs. And this is a really cool feature, and the system will actually draft those decks for you. We'll combine them and give you the combined deck and the names and all that fun stuff. By default, it will avoid pack reusing, so it won't allow packs to be reused. You can turn that off if you have multiple copies. And we could deal that pair again, and it might do it. It probably didn't. So 6 dealt. Madness was copied, it looks like. And there's a few other copies maybe in there. But it's another way if you have multiple copies of packs, you don't want to worry about it. And you're just like, okay, I just want you to draft stuff. So reusing packs, more useful if you're playing on Arena. But we just want to give you that option. And that is it for the play area. We are still working on this, so let us know in the comments on Blue Sky or on Reddit what kind of filtering or tools you would like to see on the play area. This is pretty straightforward, and we have been expanding it farther than we have in the past. So we're all open for suggestions. Definitely let us know. The last panel is statistics or stats. This will give you kind of a rundown of your collection and the environments that you're playing, and even pack breakdowns. So it tells you how many packs, how many times packs were offered, how many packs were picked. We're probably going to make a lot of adjustments to these panels. Again, let us know what kind of stuff you like to see. It gives you a breakdown of the colors so you can see where you're leaning towards. Maybe you could look at this and see that you need more green packs because you have plenty of these other colors. You could see what sets you have collections of, where you might want to boost up a little bit. It even gives you a breakdown of what sets are being drafted the most. Maybe you could see that your fun packs are definitely not being drafted as often, so you might want to cut them and sell them. It even tells you what kind of things are your top offered. So we see that squirrels and madness are the ones that are offered the most. It'll give you a rundown of what one's getting picked the most. Madness makes sense. I really like madness, so that makes a lot of sense. And then it gives you a really good rundown of all the details and gives you an idea of your best pick rates and your most ignored pick rates. This is helpful in our house in seeing that we want to ban certain packs. We usually will put a tag to ban a pack, and we won't draft those anymore to give the other ones a little more time to play. This also gives you an idea what ones might be strong or popular, so you can make adjustments to the packs themselves. And the same thing happens for the most ignored. What ones are not getting picked the most? Maybe you're seeing Big Nefarious just isn't getting the love that it should get. So maybe you get rid of it. Maybe you add some more cards to it. It's kind of up to you, and this is kind of giving you that information. Again, if you want to let us know if there's any statistics you would like to see or information you'd like to see or tools, let us know. Definitely check us out on social media and Reddit and all those stuff, or even the comments down below. Let us know what kind of tools you would like to see or features, and we'll try to implement them the best we can. So that is the Hydra Jump Bot. I hope you guys are able to use it the best you can. It helps make your game nights run even smoother. Now, if you want to support us, you could just like this video and share it. Maybe talk about the Jump Bot with your friends and family. You could talk to us on Blue Sky by clicking the link down below, or sharing our videos, or watch my gameplay videos. You know, I don't play Magic on my channel, but I play indie games. If you really want to help out and it's not necessary, you can buy a singles and donate to the Jump Bot, because that'd be really nice. I would really like to reanimate soon. We have a lot of features coming up. If you want to see what those features might be, you can check out the GitHub, and that will tell you kind of like our phase 1 plan, stuff that we're working on, and things that you might be seeing coming up. If you want, you could add to this project and all that kind of fun stuff. But don't worry, we're going to be updating it as much as we can and as often as we possibly can. We're doing it for free and on our free time. So we just hope you guys enjoy it. That is it for me. I hope you guys enjoy the Jump Bot and have some really good games. Let me know in the comments or on Blue Sky how you're enjoying it or what kind of things you like to see, and we'll do our best to try and make it happen. Always remember, keep your heart open and your rolls 20, and I will see you guys in the next one.